All right, Shalom. Before I start, I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakach Barash, the honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to all the elect Akim, Wa'akwa, learning and teaching in truth and sincerity. End of the video to the Spirit, and Brother Malak from GMS Detroit. Got this clip here. I mainly just got one I really want to deal with. I might throw a couple other ones in. But just showing you y'all, Esau, Edom, he's done exactly that which was prophesied of him, to take peace from the earth, right? We have the famous prophecy in Revelation 6 and 4. And the inspiration for this video comes from this clip with this Gadite man, this so-called Native American man, speaking on the condition of life under the so-called white man's rule. The fact that, you know, on this planet Earth, y'all, we went from horse and buggy, you know, growing your crop, farmland, right? Big families, wives and children, you know, gold, silver, to this cookie cutter, cubicle desk, profits at all costs, burn everybody out, which there's going to be work regardless, right? We're not promoting a lazy, don't nobody have to work type of society, right? We in our kingdom, we're going to do work, but it's simply going to profit us, right? But in Esau, Edom's kingdom, he just wants to drain everybody and make everyone live miserable lives. And that's not the original intent of creation. This man is hell-bent on ruling with a cruel hand to all the inhabitants of the earth. And everybody's cried out and is crying out. So let's let this clip play.
To be a white man, all you have to be concerned about is money and possessions. And the pleasures, what he terms pleasures of life, when he doesn't realize that here lies the pleasure, the life that's around us.
The life that's around us, y'all. And I got some good scriptures too, goddammit. The natural things of the world, not this artificial, plastic, chemical, death-filled society that he's created.
Green things, which are our relatives, this grass, the things that grow, all living things which are our relatives. But the white man sees that he has to manipulate and exploit all these things so that he can have pleasure, self-pleasure. It's complete selfishness. And so this is what that old man meant when the hardest thing today is to be an Indian. It's so easy to go out and get a job and become concerned only with money. And then you start building fences around your house. And you start building fences around your cities. And you start building fences around your states. You start building fences around your country. And all this time you're building only a fence around yourself. To be a white...
And all this time you're only building a fence around yourself. All right. And so, like he's saying, in this society, y'all, it's easy to just give yourself over to the mindset and ideology of the white man. Take from everything around you, use, burn it out, lie, cheat, steal, dog eat dog world, do whatever feels good, regardless if it is good to the world or people around you. This is a society that Esau, Edom, and a culture that he has nurtured in this world, and it's burning everything out, y'all. Everybody's tired, everyone's complaining, right? And what he means, you know, it's easy to be a white man rather than an Indian. The so-called Native Americans, they lived off the land. They had their own culture. They spoke a different language from the so-called white man's language. But try that today, and it's hard. You'll be locked out from society. So you're in this world, you know, you're forced, as much as you don't like this man, you're forced to a degree to take on some aspects of his system. Otherwise, you simply will not be able to live. All right, that's what happens when you're a captive. Well, when you go to the scriptures, y'all, us as a people, we're the complete opposite of all this carnality, or supposed to be. You know, that's why it says, you know, hey, you've taught the wicked ones your ways. You know, you niggas have become something bad. Let me get Sirach. Let me think for a second. 38, Sirach 38 and 26. Tripping, 39 and 26, excuse me. Sirach 39 and 26. Matter of fact, boom, look at this 20, look at 25. Let me highlight 25. Tripping. It says what? For the good are good things created from the beginning. So evil things for sinners. So what are some of the good things created from the beginning, y'all, for humanity to enjoy? 26, what does it say? It says the principal things for the whole use of man's life are water, fire, iron, and salt, flour of wheat, honey, milk, and the blood of the grape, and oil and clothing. All these are for good to the godly, so to sinners they are turned into evil. So right here, y'all, these natural things of the earth that we're supposed to use for good and enjoy, right? Literally, the things that come out of the earth, the food that's land you, the land, the water, the mountains, the animals, y'all. He's turned it into greed, into obsession, into pain, toil, labor, sorrow. Motherfuckers out here eating their bread with mourning because of Esau, Edom. He's turned the things that were once natural and wholesome and beneficial to poisonous, deadly, and chaotic. All for profit, y'all. And this isn't, I was doing some reading. I kind of want to make it into a separate video, but I probably should throw it in here, y'all. This is our natural way, y'all. The Hebrews, we're a shepherd people. Something that's coincidental. When you look at ancient Egypt, they despised us for being shepherds, y'all. Right? They didn't want to eat with us. And we know that America is one thing that America is Egypt revived. So there's no coincidence. Let me show you what I'm talking about, right? You go to the Manners and Customs of the East, chapter 106, I believe it's 95. Let me go back and double check. I was just reading earlier. It's interesting, y'all, how that natural way of living, it's abhorred here in modern day Egypt, America, and it was abhorred in ancient Egypt. You know, the Egyptians had beef with us because we ate cattle, right? Simple motherfuckers. Hatred of shepherds, right? So let me pull up the script first. Let me see. Alright, so right here, this is towards the end of Genesis 46, right? We're in Egypt. You know, Joseph is, he's revealed himself, unto his brethren, right? Showed the Egyptians that those Hebrew men that came into the city were his brethren. And so as he's getting them set up, he has to set them up in a particular land for a particular reason. Genesis 46 and 31. And Joseph said unto his brethren and unto his father's house, I will go up and show Pharaoh and say unto him, my brethren and my father's house, which were in the land of Canaan, are come unto me. And the men are shepherds, for their trade hath been to feed cattle, and they have brought their flocks and their herds and all that they have. And it shall come to pass, when Pharaoh shall call you, and shall say, what is your occupation? That ye shall say, thy servant's trade hath been about cattle from our youth even until now, both we and also our fathers, that ye may dwell in the land of Goshen. For every shepherd is an abomination unto the Egyptians. So here it is, y'all. Joseph told his family, tell him you're shepherds, and he'll set you up in Goshen. Why? Because the Egyptians didn't like shepherds. Now you got to think to yourself, what type of nigga don't like a shepherd? If people aren't working the land and herding the animals, how the fuck we gonna eat? How the fuck we gonna cultivate the land? But when you look at ancient Egypt and some of the similarities that it carries over with America, what type of shit are they into? With their false idols and their deities, they worship their technology, right? Their sciences, their capability of civilization building, rather than trusting and relying on Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, and the good land that he's given us, y'all. That's our culture. Esau, Edom is completely adverse against that. That's why in today's world, what do you see? Automation, phones, social media, online dating. These motherfuckers have a hatred for that which is natural and holy, y'all. Matter of fact, let me finish reading this, then I got another clip I'm gonna play. It says hatred of shepherds, right, for the manners and customs of the Bible. It says frequent illustrations of the contempt in which the Egyptians held shepherds are seen on the ancient monuments, the shepherds being invariably represented as lank, withered, distorted, emaciated specimens of humanity. So they would depict us in our drawings as, weak and dumb, right? The same way that it is now. If you're a holistic, natural type of person, what do they want to call you? A quack, a hippie, right? A weirdo, uncivilized, archaic, ancient. Nigga, your grandparents is ancient. How the fuck you think you got here? All right, it says, concerning the cause of this feeling, there are different opinions. We'll jump. We'll see. We'll go to, okay. It says, I'll just keep reading. It says, it is certain that cattle were not by any means considered unclean by the Egyptians. The cow was sacred to Isis, and oxen were used for food and for labor. It says, it is not likely, therefore, that taking care of them could have been considered polluting. The objection was not to the tending of the cattle, which in itself is as necessary as the cultivation of the soil, but rather to the vagrant mode of life to which the shepherds were addicted, and which was opposed to the designs and policy of the ruling caste. When the foundations of the state rested on agriculture, the Egyptians associated rudeness and barbarism with the name of shepherd. So right there, y'all, they have a problem with living a natural agricultural farmer shepherd life. And we read all throughout the scriptures, that's the way we're supposed to be living. Even in our kingdom, y'all, we're going to have advanced, capabilities. We're going to have superpowers. But nigga, we still going to be living with the land and the animals like the Heavenly Father created it. And these fucking people have a problem with that because they are demons, y'all. They don't trust in the Lord. They trust in their car. They trust in their fucking iPhone. So now we've been forced to live a fucking life that is completely, it's the complete antithesis of our being. That's why you unhappy, nigga. You don't got no land. You don't got no wives. You don't got no animals. And you don't know your true God, many of you jakes. Running around with some Gucci flip-flops on. Bug the fuck out. That ain't no power, nigga. Hey, come on, man. This dude, man. Give me 1 second. Let me back in. This man has created a world that's completely disconnected from the origin. I'm gonna take it all the way back to Genesis, y'all. What was given to Adam? Yep. Let me just double check. Okay, we have this right here. Oh, you know what? Let me do this. Because it's given to Adam and... Yep, okay. We'll start here. Then... Yeah, this is good. Genesis 1, and I'll start at 25. It says, and the power made the beasts of the earth after his kind, and cattle after their kind, and everything that creepeth upon the earth after his kind. And the power saw that it was good, and the power, the Elohim, said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. So this is how we're supposed to be living, y'all, with dominion over the earth and the things in it. Not using and abusing it, not abandoning it for artificial intelligence, but to rule cohesively. Isaiah 11, y'all. Hey, they shall not hurt in all my mountain, right? The wolf shall dwell with the lamb. The lion shall lie down with the kid. We're going to go back to that in the kingdom. This man came over here and chopped this side of the world up, set up freeways and internet. Motherfuckers in the house masturbating and on the street killing each other. And it's a whole planet full of fucking people, man. And most of you motherfuckers ain't left your state. Type of world is this? Genesis 1, I'm jumping down to 28. It says, and the power blessed them, and the Elohim said unto them, be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth. We supposed to be at one with the land, y'all. And with this dominion, do we beat and abuse the animals and the objects of the earth? No. Proverbs 12 and what? 10. A righteous man regardeth the life of his beast, but the tender mercies of the wicked are cruel. So with that dominion given to us, with that power, y'all, we supposed to rule with it properly, righteously, holy. Esau does the opposite. Let me get this other clip now. Let me get this clip. Where's it at, man? Where's that? Boom. So here it is. We go from a natural, holistic world to what we got now. Look at this. And brothers have played this clip before, but it's a hell of a clip.
Around the same time that John D. Rockefeller seized U.S. media, he also hijacked U.S. medicine. When it was discovered that drugs could be produced from petroleum, America's top oil mogul ordered his army of propagandists to invert reality accordingly. Medicines used for thousands of years were suddenly classified as alternative, while the new, petroleum-based, highly addictive, and patentable drugs were declared the gold standard. After buying a German pharmaceutical company that manufactured chemicals of war for Adolf Hitler, Rockefeller leveraged his political influence by pressing Congress to declare natural healing modalities unscientific quackery. Rockefeller then took control of the American Medical Association and began offering massive grants to top medical schools under the mandate that only his approved curriculum be taught. Any mention of the healing powers of herbs, plants, and diet was erased from most medical textbooks. Doctors and professors who objected to Rockefeller's plan were crucified by the media, removed from the AMA, and stripped of their license to teach and practice medicine. Those who dared to speak out were arrested and jailed. When evidence began to emerge that petroleum-based medicines were causing cancer, Mr. Rockefeller founded the American Cancer Society, through which he suppressed that information.
So once again, here it is. It's always an Amalekite, Edomite behind it, y'all. Dude, man, bro, we gonna torture that nigga John D. Rockefeller in the kingdom, y'all. We gonna torture that bitch till his eyes bleed. Anyway, so here it is. You go from having the natural remedies and medicines of the earth, right? Sirach, the 38th chapter. It tells you the Lord made medicines out of earth, and he that is wise will use them, right? This man completely flips the switch so that he can make profit with his petroleum-based chemicals, which destroy your body and your mind. So, you know, here it is, y'all. He's created a world that's it's the opposite from the original design and intention. And for us to have glory and peace in this earth again, his system and way of life must be completely destroyed and backed off. His way leads to death. Our way leads to life.
All you have to be concerned about is money and possessions and the pleasures, what he terms pleasures of life, when he doesn't realize that lies the pleasure, the life that's around us, these green things which are our relatives, this grass, the things that grow, all living things which are our relatives. But the white man sees that he has to manipulate and exploit all these things so that he can have pleasure, self-pleasure. It's complete selfishness. And so this is what that old man meant when the hardest thing today is to be an Indian. It's so easy to go out and get a job and become concerned only with money. And then you start building fences around your house. And you start building fences around your cities. And you start building fences around your states. You start building fences around your country. And all this time you're building only a fence around yourself.
And all this time you're building only a fence around yourself, y'all. So, you know, hey man, what some of the great things is coming to the kingdom, y'all. It's going to be back proper order in this world forever. Perfect, cohesive synergy between the things of the earth, right? And us, the Israelites, are going to be at the helm of that. You know, this is bigger than just getting revenge for slavery and beating up white folk, right? You know, contrary to what these Christian apologists, oh, y'all just want to bitch ass niggas, shut up, man. All right, hey, I'm gonna start at thought I heard a nigga walking. Started verse 9. It says what? Isaiah 11:9 says, "They shall not hurt nor destroy it on my holy mountain, for the earth shall be full of knowledge of the Lord, as waters cover the sea." All right, and you know, I could have started up right here, but I made mention of it earlier, how the animals won't be ripping each other's shreds anymore. But that's it, y'all. We have peace and tranquility coming soon. So until then, we just gotta hold on. Hold on, hold strong, all right? Give all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakakwadash, the honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, peace, blessings, and salutations to all the elect Akim, Wa Akwath, learning, teaching, and truth and sincerity. Shalom.